ever sit you down for the talk?
Which talk? What?
Right.
My dad is leaving, and why? Like, I wish that my parents, had sat down and expressed to me like what was going on. I learned from experience. They was some players. They were like Kobe and Shaq. You have one you can go to the movies with. You have one you can go out to eat with. You have one you can go to Six Flags with. You got one you can talk on the phone with. Why have one when you can have 10? I'm ready for whoever.
Right.
Whoever wanted, we can take it there.
Can we just talk?
Can we talk for a minute?
Whoa, come and talk to me. I really wanna meet you, girl. I really wanna know your name.
Okay, welcome to Intimate Conversations. This will be the first episode of season 2. So this will be the first episode of season 2. Welcome back to Intimate Conversations.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
This is a platform, where I give people the safe space to tell their stories, their journeys, et cetera, and we also try to break down communication barriers between the genders. So welcome to Intimate Conversations. I need you to first off tell these people how you got this See No Stress name.
Okay. See No Stress came about, I want to say maybe like 10 years ago. Going through some stuff in my life, and um, like the Serenity's Prayer just kind of fell in my lap. And if nobody knows the Serenity's Prayer, it's God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. And I had to break that down in 3 parts because I just felt like, okay, God, why are you giving me this? You know, well, let me understand it. And once I understood that I don't need to stress out about things I can't control, I named myself See No Stress.
Okay.
I was working in a nightclub, and they said I had to have an Instagram platform. And I'm like, gosh, I don't know what my name should be. And I say, you know what? It's Miss See No Stress because we don't see nothing.
I ain't mad at it. All right. So where are you from and how old are you?
I am from Michigan, Kalamazoo, Michigan, and I'm 36.
So this is Midwest, right?
Yes.
Are you born and raised there, like all your life there?
No, so I was born and raised in Kalamazoo, but I moved to Georgia. But I moved to Georgia when I was like 9, going on 10. Okay. So I've been in Georgia ever since. I'm a certified peach now.
Okay. So do you feel any differences between the Midwest and the South?
I can't fully say because I've been down here so long. I do know that up there it's more country than it is down here.
See, that's where I'm trying to get to.
Okay, so yeah, but you know what? A lot of people like to say like it's so slow in the South, and up north, Midwest, like those areas, it's faster and it's quicker. But I can't. I mean, I don't really know honestly because I moved down here when I was young. But and then it's country down here too. Okay. So it's like getting older. I see the difference. Well, no, I can't even say I see the difference because I don't know.
All right. Because you don't have a southern or a country accent. That's why.
No, I stay true to my roots.
Right, so I was trying to see if you were a city girl or like a country girl.
A combination of both.
Okay, I'm not mad
at that.
Yeah. Let's start from the beginning. So, growing up, how was your upbringing? Do you come from a 2-parent home? Do you have siblings? What is your foundation?
I do come from a 2-parent home. My parents were married when they had me. I have 3 siblings. I have 2 sisters and a brother. I have 1 sister older than me, and my brother is older than me, and then I have a younger sister. But I didn't find out about her until I was like 16, 17, which, that's fine. It is what it was. We lived in Michigan. Both my parents worked. My mother is an entrepreneur, like a die-hard entrepreneur. Like she gonna get to the bag
Right.
by any means necessary. So um, I seen what entrepreneurship looked like. And then when they decided to move down to Georgia, my father actually started his own business as a mobile detailer. So I come from a family of entrepreneurship
Right.
and, making it happen in this world. I wasn't happy with the move because I had best friends, that live next door, and we're not just moving out the city to another city. We were moving to a whole nother state. So it was like, wait a minute, why are we going down there? But I understood and I was comfortable with it. So when I came down here to Georgia, it was okay, but it was kind of rough for me.
We on the grind in Georgia all the time. It ain't nothing on my mind but Georgia. We ain't playing with you.
Because like it kind of seemed like the girls didn't like me because I was different.
Right.
Like I didn't have a southern accent. I wasn't like um a super outside girl. Like I had my friends and we were in the house and we did do stuff like in the garden and stuff like that, but it wasn't like, hey, let's go outside and walk to the store.
Right.
It wasn't like that. So when I came down here and tried to make friends, like them girls was hard on me.
Right.
They were so hard on me, and I didn't have like the foundation of, hey, if you have to fight, this is what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have somebody show me how to fight or teach me how to fight. I had to learn how to fight on my own, which was really rough because I'm not a fighter. I'm a Libra. So I
Right.
believe in peace, harmony, and balance, but I had to do what I had to do. And
Right.
maybe after like that ninth fight, I was like, y'all ain't about to keep beating me up.
Thanks. Okay, so so you basically were raised as the baby.
Yeah.
So being the baby, were you like catered to? Were you spoiled? How was it being the baby? Like
Um,
did your older siblings pick on you? How did everybody treat you as the baby?
so my brother actually lived in Milwaukee.
Mhm.
So he wasn't around for like the majority of my life growing up. It was just me and my sister,
Right.
my older sister. So we were cool. Like I was kind of like her baby. She took care of me. And I looked up to her so much for like everything because so back then, like the whole like light skin, dark skin thing was a thing, right?
Right.
And because I'm a more chocolate girl than my sister is, like for me, it was like she got a lot of praise
Right.
because she was light skinned. She got hazel brown eyes and this real long, pretty hair.
Right.
And I loved that for her, but I also wanted that for myself.
Right.
So I looked up to her a lot. Like she was in high school, I say like in middle school, high school, she was more privileged than I was.
Right.
Which I mean that's a given because I'm in elementary school, but I feel like she got more attention than I did. And she got more of the perks of
Right.
being in activities and stuff like that more than I did. Um, I don't know how I really felt about it back then. Because I just loved her. It's
Right.
like this is my girl, you know what I mean? Anything for her, it was like, yeah, maybe she be a part of that, you know what I'm saying?
So what
But I
kind
was
of
too young.
so what kind of kid were you? Did you grow up like a girly girl, a tomboy? Was you like what was you like? What was your favorite things to do?
Um, my favorite things to do was really go outside. Like I like to go outside and I like to be with my friends. I was kind of like the neighborhood snack dealer. You know, like I was giving away all my snacks.
Right.
I go home after school and make pots of macaroni and cheese for my friends and like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and pass them out. And my dad'd be like, all right, you gonna learn. You gonna
Right.
stop giving out all your snacks because when you ain't got none, you ain't getting no more. And I'm like, I didn't get it, but I did like to be outside. And I was I was a girl's girl, I guess. Um, yeah, I was a girl's girl, but I did like to be outside. I was very adventurous.
All right. All right. So this move to Georgia, since you said you left all your best friends, you know, et cetera, and it was a rough beginning. Would you consider that your first heartbreak?
Hmm. My first heartbreak. I guess you could say yeah, because I didn't expect to like be bullied by girls and you know have to go through what I went through. Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. So what was the turning point when you hit that turning point when you said, "All right, enough's enough. We gotta do this. Then we gotta do this." How did you feel afterwards? Like, did you go home and tell people? Like, was this a secret thing that was just for you? Like, how did you handle that?
No, I didn't tell people. It was if I felt very much like a conqueror because the girl that I fought, she was like bigger than me.
Right,
I'm tiny. I'm 5 foot. Probably at the time, I'm probably like 80 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Like little. And she was taller than me and she was bigger than me. So I really felt like a winner, you know? Um, and then after that, I'm like, I'm ready for whoever.
right.
Whoever wanted, we can take it down. Like, let's go.
Right,
Let's go.
right. Facts. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you like how did you view your parents? Did you see your other friends? Did you see them being with a two-parent home? How did you view that first scene of love?
Um, Most of my friends didn't have both parents in the home.
Right.
Um, and I don't think that that really played like a huge difference to me.
Okay.
Like I would hear all the time, "Oh, you in a two-parent home? You in a two-parent home?" And it's like, yeah, but like, what do y'all what like? I knew that it was like something to be grateful for,
Right.
but it wasn't like I have to live by a code.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I got both my parents, but it is what it is. Like, either you do or you don't. It is what it is. Um, my parents were they were loving. They were it was kind of rough. Just honestly speaking, it was kind of rough. They gave me the love, but their love together was
Right.
like I didn't see it,
Right.
you
Okay.
know?
Right.
Like I
That's
knew like they would do stuff, like they would do the adult things, but I didn't know what that looked like. You know what I
right.
mean? Like the foundation of it.
Right. I'm trying to get to a point of where your vision of your parents or your father, how did that transition to when you started liking boys?
Um, When did I start? I started liking boys kind of early. I mean, I was like 7, like with a crush, like, hey, you're kind of cute. You know what I mean? Can we like hang out outside, you know? But as far as like really being into a relationship, I always said that I wanted a man like my father because my dad is just an awesome man. He really is. He really, really is. He showed up for me. Um, he he just was always there, and it seemed like he just will always do like the extra things for me and my sister to know like dad loves you. You know what I mean? So I really appreciated that. Um, my mom, my mom was there, but my mom was really stronghold on like getting the job done.
Right.
Like no matter what we were going through, like she made sure that stuff was done.
Right.
It was just like that, I guess you could say like that strong black woman thing, you know, like if it's not done, I'm gonna get it done. You know what I mean? Not to throw shade at my dad, like because my dad worked,
Right.
but he worked like long hours and he worked out of town sometimes. So he wasn't all the way present like
Right.
on a daily basis once he started working out of town, you know.
Right.
So um he just showed me like what love looks
Right.
like, and I liked it.
No.
Cause my daddy, I'm a daddy's girl.
Well, did they ever sit you down for the talk?
Which talk? Cause it's like 17 of them.
Did they ever sit you down with the talks with boys? Like, boys are only going to want you for one thing. You know that X, Y. Did any of these conversations ever come about? Is what I'm asking.
No.
Okay. So how do you learn from? How do you learn these things? Did you learn it from like watching stuff on TV? You learn it from your friends? How did you learn what was going on?
I learned from experience.
Okay.
Like I experienced a lot of bad, rotten ass apples. Okay. And I didn't, I mean, I wish I didn't, but I did. And I also learned from my sisters, I guess,
Right.
my sisters and my mom, because my parents got divorced when I was like 17.
Okay.
So the experience part came in before that. Because like my sisters, so my sister has a best friend. My older sister has a best friend who I grew up with. And they were like Kobe and Shaq.
They was
Okay.
the girls. They was the it girls.
Yes, they did their thing. But they didn't like show me or teach me what it was.
You could just see it. You could see it.
I could see it, but I didn't see it right.
Okay.
Because they wasn't showing me right. Like they was some players.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like in real time. My seminar, that's my oldest sister, which is my mom's daughter.
Okay.
And she was like, why have one when you can have 10? And she was playing them.
Facts.
Like real life playing niggas. And I'm like, that's what I thought was like the thing. Like you have one you can go to the movies with, you have one you can go out to eat with, you have one you can go to Six Flags with, you got one you can talk on the phone with. So it was like why have one when you can have 10? But I didn't know, like I'm a lover girl.
Right.
So I didn't know what it was to kind of like separate the lover girl from the 10.
Right. You got to be built for it.
Yeah. And I wasn't built for that.
Right.
I didn't even learn properly. So I didn't want that. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, I did want it, but I just didn't know how to play the game. So I went through different experiences, having to like fall, fumble, and butt my head.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So, when did the other sister, come into play, and how did you find out about that?
My younger sister came into play. We were down here. I was 16, and my mom sat me down, and she was like, "You have a sister," and I was like, "No, I don't." Like, I don't know who she thinks she is or what y'all think y'all finna do because I'm the baby.
Right.
Like, ain't nobody after me, So that's what it was for my life for a long time, for a very long time, probably for like 10 years. Yeah.
Okay. So how is your relationship now?
We don't really have one. I think we tried, and it's different because she's in Michigan and she's like on a whole different like level than I am. Like we don't speak on a regular. I'm much closer to my brother than I am my little sister. Do I want to have a closer relationship with her? Yes. But I want her to be able to listen to me because I've been through experiences, and she's not too much younger than me, but it's like, hey sis, if I'm giving you some stuff, like take in what I'm saying, because I'm not one to just keep giving and giving and people not reciprocating or they're not taking it in.
I'm like that too. I'm like that too. But
Yeah.
you know why that is, right? Because y'all didn't have that bond growing up. Like y'all didn't grow up fully together.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So how did the divorce impact on you? Like, how did you take it?
I didn't like it.
Right.
And I didn't really like get it.
Hmm.
It was to me, it was like, why are y'all getting divorced? But at the same time, like, I just, I don't know. I didn't like it. I really didn't. See, I did not like it. And I like later on, I'm like, I wish that my parents, had sat down and expressed to me like what was going on, because when it came about, it was like, what?
Right.
Like, dad is leaving, and why? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't even know how the things were like transpiring. It just like happened. And it didn't affect me in a good way. My grades started slipping. I started just doing whatever I wanted to do. Like, I was kind of, I was a, I was a, I was an outside girl at 15,
Okay.
and it wasn't the greatest thing. Like, it just shouldn't have been, but it happened, and I just had to deal with it, but it affected me pretty bad.
Right.
And I'm glad that you asked that, because I really wish that people would talk
Right.
more about the divorce with their children, because we are a part of that.
Right.
Like, we matter in that situation too. It's not just about y'all. Like, y'all got kids, y'all have to talk to us and tell them, or they don't have to by choice, of course, but it's beneficial to have those conversations with your children, because then we're able to like mentally prepare for it.
Right. All right. So who do you like? Who's your venting partner? Like when you have an emotional, like thing inside of you, who do you vent to? Like, do you have emotional conversations with either of your parents or your siblings or your friends? Who do you vent to?
Um, the first person I've been to is my best friend.
Okay.
Okay. She get all the tea. Like, she gets all the tea, flat out honest.
Mhm.
And then um I'm also a part of a sisterhood, so I've been to them,
Okay.
like in our group. That's More Grace Safe Haven.
Mhm.
And then I will vent to my mom.
Okay.
I've been to my mom, um, because she's like the next best thing to me,
Mhm.
because her visions, it's like this, her visions aren't always clear to her until she gets light of it or
Right.
sight of it. And I bring a lot of that to her, not to like toot my own horn, but like when I give my mom certain pieces of like my reality, it's like, oh, I can relate to that. So we can have conversations about it. I teach her things, she teach me things.
Right.
So I vent to her. Um, I used to vent to my dad, but he's like, I don't know where he is up here. I just be like, you know what? We could talk about it later, or I just leave him be.
Do you think that's a thing for men? Do you think that men have ceilings when it comes to talking about emotions and certain things?
Do I think men have feelings?
Ceilings.
Ceilings?
Yeah. Like I can talk to you about this, but I don't know how deep I can go.
Um, maybe. Yeah,
Mhm.
maybe. That's a good question. I could say yeah. Well, maybe, because men only give you a limit, like, and then sometimes men give it from their perspective.
Right.
So it can get a little like debatable,
Right.
and then it's like, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't even told you that. I should have just kept it to my damn self, because you don't see what I'm saying, you don't hear what I'm saying.
Right. That's kind of a slippery slope, and I just had one of those debates that you called it.
Yeah.
I had one of those debates because I was told that same thing. Well, you're speaking from your perspective, and it's like, yeah, I'm speaking from my perspective, and I'm also speaking from experience. So, do you want it or no?
Yeah, but you know what, we all have to be able to see different perspectives and be okay with different perspectives. That's both men and women.
Right.
I think it's okay for us to voice like how we view it,
Right.
but we also have to take account for how somebody else views it because we don't always view things the same.
Right.
So
Right.
it's like,
I agree with that. My question is only, do you want my perspective from my experience, or do you want me to just listen to you? Like, that's what I'm asking.
that's it. That's it. And you know what? I think it'd be both. I
Okay.
think it'd be both, but I think a lot of times us women, we really want you to hear us and we want you on our side. So when y'all not on our side, it's like,
I didn't want that.
I didn't ask for that. You know what I'm saying? But it's like you kind of did ask for that because you letting me know what's going on. You didn't
Right.
ask me a question.
Right.
And I'm giving you, you know what I'm saying, my perspective and from experience, whatever. So like you said, you go take it or you not.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. We just gotta take it in
Right.
and receive it.
All right. So where are you on the children's side? You got any kids? How many? Like, what are we doing?
Yes, I have 3 children of my own.
Okay.
I am in a relationship. And he has 2 children outside of our. Okay, so he's got 4,
Right.
and then I have 3. So, but my 2 are his 2.
Okay.
So me and him have 2 kids together, and then he has 2 additional children, and I have 1 additional child.
So it's 5 total.
Yeah.
Okay. So in this union, like, first with the first baby father, was that just like a young thing? What was the separation of the family? Or was it ever a family?
It wasn't a family.
Okay.
Um, I was young.
Mm,
He was younger,
mm.
and I didn't know about that until later on because he lied to me about his age.
Let us find
Oh,
out you're a cougar.
uh, uh, kind of
Oh.
slightly, because older men scared me, like
Man.
because they gave me like, "Rrr, I'm your dad," and I'm like, I don't need you to be my daddy. Like I got a daddy, you know what I mean? Like I could teach you some stuff and I'll learn from you, but don't be like, oh yeah, like no, don't do that. So the older guys scared me. That was back then. I think now it'd be like, oh, okay, well, if I knew then what I knew now, then I probably would have dated somebody older. But I was 20 and he was 16,
Mm,
going on 17, but he told me he was 19.
mm.
So when he told me, I'm like, okay, we lived next door to each other, and I was seeing him like he was a big dog. So I'm like, I'm kicking it with that.
All right, I got
So
a question. Hold on, I got a question. I don't want to cut you off, but I got a
mhm.
question. So when you find out that he lied about his age, what was your reaction?
I was shocked.
Mm,
I was really shocked because it's like, why the hell would you lie to me?
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like why lie?
Mm,
And it was unfair, but I ain't stopped dealing with him. I don't even remember how I found out. I do remember how I found out. I think his aunt had told me, or his sister had told me. Somebody told me, and I was like, what? But shit, I was already in by then. Like,
already in it. You
it
are.
is what it is.
All right. Did you find out before or after the kid?
I found out before.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But he had turned 17 by then. Like, matter of fact, I don't know. I don't know how old he was by then because we had been together for 4 years.
Right.
So when I did find out, it was like, I mean, it is what it is. Like, cause he had been to the club buying bottles and sections and shit. And I'm like, it must be something he doing right because he could go where I'm going. So, whatever. But yeah, it was before.
All right. So what was the breaking point in that?
The breaking point was the abuse.
Okay.
He was abusive.
Mhm.
He like it was so many instances, but it was this one time, which was the last time for me.
Mhm.
I was staying at his house and I feel like he just made up something in his mind that just caused him to be like, oh, I'm going after her, you know. And he had like dragged me by my hair, and I was leaving, like I had got my baby, and I was trying to walk out the door.
Right.
And when I walked out the door, like he smacked me,
Okay.
like smacked me, not a little slap. He smacked me, and my contact came out of my eye, and I was on. It was some brick stairs, and I almost fell down those brick stairs. And I had my daughter in my hands,
Right.
like in my arms, and that was the breaking point for me because while I was driving, I wanted to turn around and go back to his house, slash his tires, bust out his windows, like do damage to his property.
Right.
For me, like I never thought like that.
Right.
I never thought like, oh, go damage somebody else's property when they do something wrong to you. But I had that thought, and I said, I'm not doing this shit no more.
Right.
I'm not doing it no more. Nope.
So how did that start? Did that start verbally, or did that just one day he just got physical? How did it start?
He had got physical, but he was playing.
Okay.
Like he was the fight, like play fight type, but
Right.
his play fight was rough.
Right.
So when he would play fight, it was new to me because
Right.
I had never experienced nothing like that. Like nobody putting their hands on me and no sort where you playing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if we fighting, we gonna fight.
Right.
So when he started playing like that, I'm like, oh, this the type of time you on? Like I don't like this.
Right.
I don't think I want this. But then seeing how he was with his family, like his cousins and his sister and his grandmother, like he would play fight with his grandmother.
That's just how
I'm
they.
thinking like that's just like it's just kind of normal. He Jamaican,
Right.
and you know they a little rough, so it was what it was. Like so, I'm like, okay, you know, it's not no harm to them. So I'm thinking like, you know, it's not no harm to me. But then it started to get a little out of hand. Like he was getting like harder and rougher,
Right.
and he was very strong. So I'm like picking up Tim's, throwing them at him because I can't fight you,
Right.
but I'm gonna knock your ass out with this damn Timberland boot, and we gonna take it from there.
All right. So was that a easy break, or was it a struggle?
It was easy
Okay.
because more stuff like transpired or like played out. Like I found out he had another kid on the way.
Right.
He actually he had 2 kids on the way.
Mm.
So it was like, whoa, wait a minute. And then he had a girlfriend that he lied to me about. And I'm like, oh no, sir, we're not doing this. I'm not doing this.
Right.
So it was easy.
Okay. So how do you feel like motherhood has changed you? Do you think that made you grow up, or like what is your view on it?
How do I feel motherhood has changed me? It made me kind of just um gosh, I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know. That's a good question because to be honest with you, like I've always been nurturing.
All right.
I've always been loving and caring. My sister has children older than mine, so they were there. You know what I mean? It's like I just know to be available for my children,
Right.
you know. Um, so I can't say that it like made a major change for me.
Well, would you say it slowed you down? Because at one point you said you was outside a little
Mhm.
bit.
Yes, it did slow me down, okay? Because I was getting to it. Like I was outside, I was getting to it, and it wasn't even like with the guys or no shit like that. Like I was living my life. I was, you know, working at clubs. I was going to parties. I was able to just like go and do things freely. You know what I mean? But I feel like the divine said, Sierra, sit your ass down, and then I got pregnant. That was
Right.
the one, my first one, and she's 13.
Right.
Sit down. So I sat down. And then I had started again. And then my second child came and it was like, your ass down. So
Right.
I had to sit down again. And yeah, that that was that.
All right. So since your oldest is 13,
Hmm.
all right, is she just turned 13 or she's been 13 for a while?
She's been 13 for a while. She'll be 14 in January.
Oh, she's a Capricorn. Shout
Yes, big cap.
shout out there, Capricorn season. You already know what it is.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
All right. So how is it dealing with a team?
It's it's different, but it's me seeing me all
Right.
over again.
Right.
Because the stuff that she does or like asks for is like that was me when I was 13.
Right.
Going in my sister's closet, taking her clothes, using my mom's product,
Mm.
like asking for everything, which I don't think I asked for stuff like that because in my day it was like you gonna have to wait for it or you just ain't gonna get it, you know. Um so I just see her as me all over again. And I love her to life. I promise I do, but I'll be ready to strangle her. Like, stop asking me for stuff and stop going in my product.
Right. Right. Thanks. Thanks.
Hey,
Thanks. All right. So how did the working at the club thing come about? And like what were you doing there? Like what was that?
I was a waitress, and so remember I said my sister had a best friend. Her name is Brandy.
Right.
So Brandy was like, "Girl, she was like, girl, we need to go apply at Chit Chat, which is a nightclub." So I'm like, "Okay, let's do it. Like, let's go." Excuse me. So we went, and we both got the job,
Mm.
and we kind of like took over. You know what I'm saying? We got in there, we did what needed to be done by all means. Like we was getting it done. They was coming to us for the VIP section.
Right.
I didn't handle a lot of them. I had quite a few, but it was more so her because she was a hustler to do like the upsell and stuff. And me, I was just so fast, like I'd be ripping and running through this club. And people be like, dang, CC, slow down. And I'm like, I can't. I got like 7 orders. I got to take care of all of y'all. And I wasn't writing nothing down. It was all mental, like mental memory. So I'm ripping and running through. But yeah, I mean, we made it happen. We both made some real good money in that
You
club.
would say is the best and the worst thing about working in a nightclub?
The best thing about working in a nightclub is that cash at hand. Give me the coins. Spread me the money. Give me the money. That's the best part. The worst part is like guys feeling entitled. Like they can just touch on your butt or like, no. Uh-uh. No. I actually quit because they wanted me to wear a leotard and I'm like, I'm not showing all this back here for them. No, y'all not getting that. So I quit.
I can dig it.
Mhm.
All right. So what does like life look for you now? Like what do you do for fun now? Like what is your thing?
Um, so I'm a hair braider. I have a home salon.
Okay.
Um, and I've been working on it, I guess, for like the last maybe 6 years.
Mhm.
So I'm good. Like my home salon is good. I have a legit business. I make hair oils. I make all kind of stuff, teas, and I juice. Um, I'm so holistic at this point. Like I just love the holistic side of life because of the healing properties of herbs and you know fruits and seeds. Like I got a garden in my front yard with some cucumbers and lemons and tomatoes. Um, so like those things are fun for me, but like I still like to be outside.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I like to go out. I like to have my drinks.
Mhm.
I like to have a good time. I really embrace moments as they are. because we're not going to get those back.
That's a
So I
fact.
take a lot of pictures and I just have a good time. I have a good time. Yeah.
All right, so you said something about juicing, right? So
hmm
I've been thinking about like getting into that. So what is the process if somebody wanted to start juicing?
The process is to buy a juicer,
Mm.
get a good juicer. And if you get a deal, catch that deal. Okay. Don't be scared of a deal. And then get your fruits. Well, I would say find different recipes for what you want to make juices for, because you can make juices, you know, with any fruit and it's gonna have some type of benefit. But juicing different fruits and vegetables together um, will target different things, like just as a whole.
Right,
So, like if you want to do something for high blood pressure,
right,
you will want to juice or you will want to use the ingredients that are specifically for high blood pressure, not for like high blood pressure or energy. You know, you want to do the high blood pressure ingredients alone by themselves. And
right.
then stay on like a routine while you juice.
Mm.
Some people do like 3 days,
Okay.
some people do a week, some people do 2 weeks.
Mm.
So when you just stay consistent with it, you'll see the benefits of it.
So you can actually that's what I know that some people might juice for a day or a couple days a week, but you can actually do like a full week juicing.
Mhm. Yeah. And the best way to store is in jars,
Right,
like mason jars.
right.
You don't get like the plastic residues and stuff like that. Like the jars are the best thing, the glass jars.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. All right, so what is your outlook on what's going on in the gender wars? Oh, this is my main question that I'm working on. I'm working on this as a thesis. What is the communication barrier? Like, I seen that a lot of men be like talking down to women, so then they cower and then they shut down. And women, they don't necessarily want to hear men's feelings.
Mhm.
So, what is your thoughts on the communication breakdown or barrier between men and women?
Um, the communication barrier. I feel like both men and women should find confidence in themselves to, okay, I could say like be the best them, right? But that's kind of hard to do sometimes, coming from society and coming from um like different households, right? So not everybody is confident in like being their highest selves, because a lot of people don't know how to be the best them with
Right,
certain situations. Um, I think that women kind of like shrink. Women shrink sometimes because we value a masculine opinion.
right,
We view men as masculine. Most women do,
right,
because I mean, I don't even think it's a like we're supposed to. It's like it's made that way because our
right,
men were created to hunt and to, you know, be the protectors. So we already view men as masculine. So we value that masculinity.
mm,
But when we don't know how to take it,
right,
it's like we feel like we being little girl, or like it's too hard for us,
right.
you know? And then for men, I feel like I don't know, it's so hard for men. It really is. It's hard for men, but I'm a woman that understands
Can you
like
say that one more time?
it's hard for men. It is. I know it. I know it because women are not easy. We are not easy at all. And I mean, I get it because I'm not easy all the time, you know. But I do understand that men need a voice too. Like
Right.
y'all got to be heard too. Y'all got to be understood too. And I feel like um women, like, we don't always know what that looks like.
Right.
Cause it's like, hey, again, you're supposed to be X, Y, and Z, but it's like he don't even know how to be like sweet, sentimental, or even understanding. Like he don't know how.
Right.
So I just feel like we should love on men, and we should pay more attention to men with their feelings, because you all have feelings.
Thank you.
Y'all have feelings.
Appreciate appreciate you.
Please pay attention to the men's feelings, because as hard as they are, they still feel. And it
Thanks.
might not come out right, or it might not come out proper, but have grace with the men. Have grace with them. And let's show them a better way. Just like we got to show ourselves a better way, because we, as women, we got all the communities, we got all the resources, we got all the sisterhood, but the men don't have that. So, you know,
That's a
I
fact.
think T should start,
I
you
can't
know,
look.
a brotherhood. You know what I'm saying?
This is what I'm telling you. This is what I'm gonna tell you about the brotherhood thing. Like, it's hard for men to start a brotherhood because I can't talk to my friends the way I could talk to a female. Like, it just don't like it just don't go. Like I can't sit here like, no, because I'm feeling like it just don't go. Like,
Yeah,
and I wish that it did, but it just doesn't go. Like, I
yeah,
wish it did, but it just doesn't go. It's a hard thing. So it's like, even when people like see me like with my brother or with my friends or whatever, like we talk about things, and that may be like sports or X, Y, and Z. We don't talk about feelings. We don't talk about how I feel today. We don't talk about what I'm going through in my relationship. That's not conversations that we have as men, and we should. And I'm pushing for us to try to get there, but it's like, it's
yeah.
hard.
That's understandable. Like, for real, I get that. And it just only takes, but it only takes like, it's a start wherever the start is. You know what I mean? And it could take a couple years. You never know where it'll go, but when you plant that seed and you feed it and you pour into it, it's gonna grow. It's gonna grow. So even if you start off with your 1, 2, you know what I'm saying, where y'all three or 2 or 3 can have like real life conversation, and
Right.
it's something that can be shared with the world, and even just the example, then do it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'll bring some men on this platform, and
Mhm.
I'll have deep conversations with them. That's something that I'm pushing forward to. It's hard to get them to come on here and share their feelings, but I'm pushing for that, and I
Yeah,
know a couple people that will do it. But on, like, see how you said y'all have a sisterhood? That's a regular thing.
yeah,
So for it to be a regular thing for men, that is trying to lift a mountain.
yeah. I get it.
Yeah, that
I
is.
do.
So, all right. So I have a couple questions though. All
Okay.
right. So what is the best and the worst thing that has happened to you in your life?
Um, the best and the worst thing that has happened in my life. Um, I'll say there's a couple best things. Um, and I'm gonna go ahead and big up my relationship, okay? Because my relationship, that is one of the best things that has happened to me, honestly. Because you asked me the question like, how did my children change me for whatever? And it wasn't my children, it was my relationship.
Okay.
It was really my relationship, because my man is just, he's so like, he's kind of everything,
Okay.
right? Like he's the good and the bad, but he's the good to where it's beneficial to me and my children.
Right.
He's the good that like allows me the space to be myself, But then it's like, hey, you probably shouldn't do that, Sierra. You thinking on that BS, so you probably shouldn't do that. All right, now if you do it, then don't say I ain't tell you. You know what I mean? So that's one of the best that's one of the best things that has happened to me is me being in this relationship with a man that allows me to be myself, and but he's also patient with me when I'm like just jacked up, because I'm still a firecracker. Okay,
Right.
let's not get it twisted. I'm still gonna be me.
What's your,
Huh?
what's your sign?
I'm a Libra. Well, I'm a
Okay.
cuss baby, so I'm like Libra Scorpio.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's a Capricorn.
See?
Yes, I swear, y'all are, oh my gosh.
We out here. We out here and we're great. We're out here and we're great. Listen to her and get you a Capricorn. That's all. That's all. Get you.
Cappies are loving. I love y'all. I do. I really do. And then my oldest daughter and my oldest son, they're both Capricorns too.
Okay.
So it's like, hey, you don't have a choice, Miss
Fact.
Craig.
That's a fact.
Yeah. So that's one. And then having my children's love.
Right.
And me having a vision for myself
Right.
is one of the best things that has happened to me. Because it allows me to like be great and walk in my greatness and walk in my purpose. And I believe in myself because I got the juice. You know what I'm saying? And I know I got the juice. So because I know that, I follow the steps to bring my vision to life.
Okay.
And then one of the worst things that happened to me was my grandmother dying. Um, my grandmother was she was a beautiful soul. Like I cherish that woman so much. And when she passed, it was like, dang, my grandmother is never gonna see my children, her grandchildren. I'm never gonna be able to talk to her again. I was 21 when she died, like really just hitting into my prime, and I didn't have that wisdom from her. So, I talk to her on a daily now because I understand the spiritual world, and I understand that I can still talk to my, crossover loved one. So I'm fine with it. But just to have her physically here, like to call on the phone and say, Cece, whatever, whatever, with that soft voice, it's like, oh, and that's my dad's mom.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So where am I going? You said something about the relationship.
Mhm.
And I want to applaud that because I try to tell people that this is just once again my perspective, my experience.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I feel like the climax or the ecstasy and being in love is the greatest thing in life. And people will be like, I'm chasing my bag, I want to get this money, X, Y, and Z. And I'll be like, that's fine, because yes, none of us want to be broke. But that is not the greatest form that we're out here to claim.
It's not. Because when America say that money is gone,
Right.
then what are we doing?
Right.
What do you have?
Right.
You don't have somebody that you could fall back on, to support you physically, spiritually, mentally, sexually. You don't have it.
Right.
Because you want to chase the bag. The bag is gonna be there, but like you still want your fix. So why are you trying to get your fix? Like before you get your fix, or you can have the one to get your fix with. There go the one. Why have one when you can have 10? You know what I'm saying? You can have the one you get your fix with because he don't want a relationship or she don't want a relationship, but y'all just do y'all thing. But also have the one that you want to build with and create with. Because in the end, that's really what it's gonna be.
That's what it's gonna be.
For real. I like that word, the ecstasy of it. Yeah.
This is intimate conversations. This is what I do over here. Yeah. All right. What is a deal breaker for you?
What is a deal breaker? At this point, um, violence, like physical violence. Like,
Facts.
no, we're not doing that.
That's a fact.
Mm-mm.
That's a fact.
And
That's a
not
fact.
giving a damn about how my kids gonna feel about it. Oh no,
That's
we
a
got to go.
that's a fact. That's a fact. Okay, so my final question would be, or this is my final question for I try to make it my final question on every episode. What is your advice to both men and women on what they should be doing better?
Um, my advice for men and women on what we should be doing better is getting to know yourself. Get to know yourself. Um, and that's like it's like that's so cliche, right? But
It's
it's so deep
right,
and so valuable when you really learn who you are. And that looks like going in the depths of who you were, understanding, understanding, overstanding what got you to the point of who you are. So that's the childhood trauma. That's the um, asking yourself, what makes me so angry at this point? Like,
one more time for the people. Why are y'all so angry? I don't understand it.
but that's people. That's just people, period. Men
Right,
and women. Like,
right.
why?
I'm asking
Exactly.
everybody, like, what are you so angry about? Why are you so angry?
Why? Why? Yeah. Ask that question. Like, what happened to me that triggers me to be this mad?
Right,
No matter what it looks like, somebody touched you, your parents neglected you,
right,
um, you felt like you didn't have a voice, like no matter what it looks like. And the beauty of being able to go deep within is that nobody has to know about it.
right,
Nobody got to know your secret.
right,
Nobody has to know. You put that in a journal and that's for you and your pen.
right,
And the pen don't talk.
right, right.
So write it, you know what I'm saying? Like let's get to who, like understanding who we really are, and let us heal, you know.
That's a
And for men especially, like I know it's not like just broadcasted to y'all like what it looks like, but when it's something in y'all soul that's gonna speak to y'all that says, hey, you should take heed to what this is. Take that.
right.
Take it and write it down, screenshot it, meditate on it, just take it in. And again, nobody has to know your secrets. Nobody has to know. You just show up outside of your secrets as your best self.
I just want to say to women, as a whole, for men, a lot of times they don't get comfortable until around like 35. So I'm gonna say you don't really like grow up or mature as a man until either you're 35 or you've experienced some things. So that's why it gets tricky when people say perspective and experience, because this is what makes you who you are. This is what gives you your ideals. So those things go hand in hand. And yes, every individual will speak from their perspective or their experience because that's just their vision. And like you said earlier, yes, you have to be able to hear other people's perspective and experiences, but don't shut mine down.
Right. Right.
Is what I'm saying. So this is Intimate Conversations. Is there any questions that you would like to add? Because a lot of times, like I said, women go into the small place or they don't know how to, they might not be comfortable asking their man per se. Is there any question that you would like to ask a man?
Is there any question I would like to ask a man? Um, gosh, This could be the question. I'll just throw out a question for women to ask,
Okay.
okay? Because I get the answers a lot sometimes. Because just because I drop the ball sometimes. But a question that women can ask men is, um, it's okay. Don't take it like so. Oh my gosh, I'm his slave. No, it's like, how can I be of better service to you, mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally?
Mhm.
And when you're in your relationships, or even if it's in your friendships,
Right.
how can I be of service to you mentally, spiritually, physically, financially? And physically ain't gotta be sex. It could be working out,
Right.
workout buddy, whatever. Um, or buying fruit,
Right.
something like that. Yeah. Let's that could be it. That's a question that women can ask. And be open to it. Don't feel like the man is just saying like, yeah, I want you to be this because that's what I said, like on my pimp. You know what I'm saying? Like, do that. No, like let's really just hear them. Yeah.
I think that that's a great question, and I also think that that's a question that should be continuously asked.
Hmm.
You can ask that once a week or once a month or however it plays out for you. I think
Yeah.
that's a great question to ask and to continue to ask. And I also want both sides to have their answers. Like, put some thoughts into these things because a lot of times you can ask a question and somebody will be like, I don't know. I never really thought about it. It's like,
Right.
what are the things that you should be thinking about though? I always be wondering, like, what are people thinking about?
Yeah. We don't never know.
Because this like that question that you asked, these are things that I think about, and these are things that I'm going to outline for you because I know what it's going to take for me to be like calm down in myself. So I
Yeah.
know what it's going to take for me to be like, all right, I'm good here.
Yeah. That safe space.
Right.
Yep.
So
We gotta just we gotta be better and do better. That being more united,
that's a fact.
not divided.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you for coming on Intimate Conversations. Shout out to the Slaughter Gang as always. Slaughter Gang, what up? Slaughter Gang, what up?
We be doing our thing.
I tell y'all right now, they all out of pocket. They all crazy. So, Slaughter Gang, what up?
We got sanity. We got sanity now.
I
But
mean that in a good way. I mean that in a
yeah,
good way. Not in a bad way. Just that y'all have I would say y'all have your own individual personality, but it's like all outgoing. It's like it feels like welcoming.
yeah, that's good. I love that.
So I would
I
say,
love that.
yeah. So I would say, shout out to the Slaughter Gang. You know, they always come through.
Appreciate that.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But this is Intimate Conversations, people. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up button, like and share the video. Put your comments in the comment section. If anybody has any questions or wants to come on and share their journey, the email is always in the bio or the description of the video. And once again, thank you for coming on and telling a little bit of your story and journey.
Thank you. I appreciate you for having me. And if anybody wants to follow me, my IG handle, TikTok, Snapchat is C No Stress, spelled CNOSTRESS. Because we don't see none, period.
Yeah, I'll put all her handles, going across the screen and all things of that nature. What before we get up here, tell them again where you're located and what your business is.
I'm located in Atlanta, Georgia. Also, like Stone Mountain, like the Stone Mountain area. And I'm a hair braider. My name is CC, the owner of C No Stress Creations LLC. And yeah, that's it.
All right, people, we all have a good one. We're gonna get up out of here. Deuces.